Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry Larrock, your presenter. In our top stories, Thursday of Lime Squirrel in the Park cancelled. Last year's Calasipso competition winner dethroned by new competitor. And in sports, Icons Football Club and San Martin Football Club remains in relegation zone following weekend matches. Details of these will follow.
Music is life, you don't know. And I'm all set and ready to blow. I got some places up there I wanna see. It's gonna be irate, yeah. So put your hand in the air just for me. I want it up for the world to see. Cause I wanted you and me's a fire. I'll bring the flame. It's gonna be irate, yeah. Boom, this is Mr. Nye, and you're listening and watching SAT Telecoms. Boom!
Welcome back. Portsmouth Market Day with a Difference 2013, organized by the Department of Local Government and Community Development, took place at the Portsmouth Market on Saturday, October 19. This year, the event was organized to recognize vendors, farmers, and fisher folks for their year-round contributions.
Our farmers and fisher folks are definitely the backbone of our economy. Many times, when we think of farmers, we think of those on the large scale, but we ignore that the contribution that our small farmers and vendors do. Most times we ignore their struggles, we ignore their pain, we ignore the hunger and thirst that they are here on the field on a daily basis.
The annual event seeks to recognize the individuals for their hard work and effort in the agricultural sector.
We tend to think of farming as a set of people who did not go to school and that sort of thing, and they felt that they had to toil the soil to make a living. I must tell you that farming is indeed a mobile, notable profession, because we are, of course, notwithstanding what we hear, we are an agricultural-based country. We are basically an agricultural country, and we will continue to be that. And I believe we need to really applaud and commend the efforts of our farmers, the farmers from the north and other communities who on a daily basis come here to the Portsmouth Market to provide us with clean, healthy, and edible agricultural produce.
We have to collaborate and put aside our differences to ensure that we move this country forward. He also encouraged persons to be more involved in community activities and to ensure that they play their part in enhancing their community and improving its infrastructural development. It is by way of community development that we will see national development, he added. Several individuals also received prizes for their stores and customer service abilities through vending. In more news, in a pursuit to actively enroll regional and international students into the Dominica State College, DSC, Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter St-Jean, led a 4-member delegation to St. Martin on Monday, October 14th. This was organized to promote the DSC as a premier institution for higher education. The 4-member delegation included Minister St-Jean, Brian Mead, Chairman of the DSC Board of Governors, Dr. Donald Peters, President of the DSC, and Darrell Titt, Press Attaché in the Office of the Prime Minister. They were received by Honorable Vanu Cornelius de Weaver, Minister for Public Health, Social Development and Labor, as well as a team from St. Martin's Ministry of Education. Minister Seja emphasized the advantages of students from St. Martin attending the Dominica State College, while highlighting the DSC's ability to provide competitive higher level education, particularly in areas that would suit St. Martin's labor market, including tourism, healthcare, and education. Meanwhile, Dr. Peters gave a detailed PowerPoint presentation which focused on the faculties and programs offered by the DSC and highlighted graduates of the DSC who were now studying at universities in the United States and Europe. He explained that the credits obtained by these students had significantly reduced the cost and length of studies at university. By the end of the meeting, the St. Martin education officials expressed optimism and great interest, citing the DSC as a viable and financially beneficial option for higher education for St. Martin students. In more news, despite the rain, Dominicans were welcomed to the community of Bagatelle on Sunday, October 20th, for this year's Heritage Day as part of our independence celebrations. Minister for Community Development, Social Services and Gender Affairs, Honorable Gloria Shillingford, urged Dominicans to rise above selfish ambitions and to join hearts, hands and minds to celebrate this year's 35th anniversary of independence for the prosperity of our beloved country.
As is customary, on Heritage Day, the community bestows honor on an elder who has made outstanding contribution to the development and preservation of culture in the community. And this afternoon, and this year, the honor of Cultural Elder is most deservedly bestowed on Miss Ivanti Harriet of Bagatelle.
Parliamentary Representative for the Petit Savon constituency, Honorable Kenneth Darrow, says, while we reflect on the past, we must embrace the present and appreciate the many advances made.
As your PAL rep, let me assure you that I will continue to work under our community-based projects program to make funds available for much-needed small-scale projects. I have worked the entire community on a number of occasions, and I have a pretty good idea what needs to be done. We can talk about the upgrade of the playing field, the basketball court, various village roads, repair of public conveniences, among others. And yes, I recognize the needs of many. But you also need to recognize that it's an uphill climb, especially in the view of the current global financial crisis. But I believe if we work together, we can achieve great things. So while we work towards the things not yet done, let us appreciate those already done.
Cultural Elder of the Year was Ivanti Harriet, who was selected by the community.
Ivanti Harriet was born on the 26th of October 1937 to parents Harold and Margareton Harriet. From an early age, she got involved in many community-based organizations and community development projects. Educated at the Bagatelle Primary School, Ivanti pursued a career as a seamstress, assisting many underprivileged persons with school uniforms for their children. She also sewed uniforms for sports groups and wadriyat and jip and other creative madras outfits. Ms. Harriet's love for and commitment to the development of her community allowed her to become involved in almost every aspect of development, and she began giving herself to community service at a very early age. She became the clerk of the Bagatelle Font Saint-Jean Pointe-Carré Village Council and remained in that position for 26 years. During her tenure, she represented the council and community at several conferences and fora organized by various ministries and departments.
Ms. Harriet coordinated many projects, including infrastructural and vocational programs, and was a motivating force in the implementation and construction of the Fort Saint-Jean Fisheries Complex. She was presented with a plaque of the award from His Excellency President Charles Savre. In other news, Day 1 of the 11th annual Creole in the Park event, which was expected to begin at 12 noon at the Botanic Gardens on Monday, October 21st, was cancelled. This was according to Lime representative Mr. Karim Gist, who explained This was as a result of the heavy rainfall from Sunday, October 28th.
The grounds of the Botanical Gardens have been adversely impacted, and therefore we chose not to go ahead with schedule today. Obviously, we are in a very strong relationship and partnership with the Botanical Gardens, and part of our duties is to ensure that the grounds of the Botanical Gardens remain in usable condition. Also, we had in fact spoken to the environmental health group, which speaks to the safety and risk of food, and we are just making sure that we can hold off today's schedule to allow the Botanical Gardens to dry up a bit, to ensure that when patrons come into the Botanical Gardens, the experience remains the same as it has been over the past.
He added, preparations for the event to begin on Tuesday, October 22nd will continue as planned and will end on Thursday, October 24th. Patrons and visitors are being urged to come and enjoy the remaining activities. In more news, the community of Lapland will soon have a brand new state-of-the-art police station, as a groundbreaking ceremony for its very own police station took place on Friday, October 18th. Speaking at the ceremony, Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, said crime and criminals must be dealt with a very serious and brazen manner, adding that no matter how prosperous a people and a country becomes, if we are not safe in our own homes and communities, it is of no value to us. Parliamentary Representative for the Lapland constituency and Minister for Education, Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter Seja, told his constituents that their safety was of paramount importance to the government. The minister stated that while Lapland and surrounding villages are generally peaceful, the police station will serve as a deterrent to crime. The new Lapland police station is being financed through a loan from the Dominica Social Security and will cost an estimated $3.2 million. The firm of A.K. Henderson Limited has been awarded the construction contract, which is expected to last 47 weeks and will comprise of 2 buildings. The main building will have 2 levels, with the lower level housing administrative offices, holding cells and magistrates' court, while the upper level will house the male and female living quarters. The second building will serve as the inspector's quarters. The Lapland police station has been without a permanent location for a number of years after the first station was severely destroyed by Hurricane David in 1979 and had to be later abandoned. The station served the villages of Lapland, Grandfort, Montjon, Rivière-Syrique, and Botica. In other news, despite a call from the United Workers' Party's leader, Mr. Lennox Linton, and other members of the party for Dominicans to boycott the National Youth Rally and the National Day Parade, the Prime Minister of Dominica is advising the public to do otherwise. According to Mr. Linton, this boycott is to peacefully protest what they consider the unconstitutional appointment of the former Minister of National Security, Honorable Charles Savre, as President of Dominica.
This is not a boycott of the independence celebrations. It is a principled people stand for the Constitution and against Roosevelt Skerrit, who once again violated the Constitution to make an appointment unacceptable for the presidency, and Charles Savre, who accepted the appointment knowing that it was unconstitutional and knowing that he is too destructively partisan to serve as the embodiment of state. By keeping our children away from the National Youth Rally on November 1st and staying away from the National Day Parade on November 3rd, we will send a clear message to Skerrit and Savre that we stand firm and without compromise against their disrespect and abuse of our Constitution.
However, Mr. Skerrit says there is no reason to get our children involved in this issue.
Children, why should we get children involved in matters like this? Would you, as the government, boycott the independence celebration because of His Excellency the President, Mr. Charles Savre? Would you boycott it? So people utter things without really thinking before they speak. It is just to put themselves in the news as having said something. That's something that is adding nothing to the way of life of our people. Something that will not address the issue of unemployment confronting our people. Something that will not address the challenges confronting farmers of our country.
Mr. Skerrit is of the view that the United Workers' Party does not have any plans, interests, or concern for persons who are struggling and need help in this country. He noted the opposition have not provided any questions on the order paper in Parliament which deals with the issues confronting our citizens in Dominica as it relates to education, housing improvement, employment, and/or poverty reduction. However, leader of the opposition United Workers' Party, Honorable Hector John, says the Prime Minister's statement is misleading. He explained for Parliament scheduled to take place on Wednesday, October 23rd, they have submitted 17 questions, 6 oral and 11 for written responses.
You have just a few recover of roads of vendors market. You have repair of road that is over gutter in Marigot. Mr. James, I've asked that question on several occasions. Removal of students and teachers from the old grammar school building. Information regarding the ambassador to the PRC. Cleaning up of the Dominica Grammar School yard. Information regarding Shangri-La Company. Social assistance. Passport issued from February 2000, National E-Business Incubator, advances received for official travelers, information regarding official travelers, education grants, housing assistance, Dominica debt to Petro-Caribe, establishment of a National Youth Empowerment Village in Roseau, geothermal development agreement, license issued to Domlec.
He is hoping that the government will finally answer such important questions. As it relates to the boycott, it may not be the most popular in the public's eyes, he said, but it is the most principled decision of the opposition. According to Mr. John, anytime a country's constitution is compromised, the democracy of the country is compromised, and this is something we do not need. In more news, Veronique Nicholas of Newtown has been named the new Madam Wobduet pageant winner after a spectacular display of culture and ethnicity on the night of Friday, October 18th at the Aurora Halls of Culture. The events of participating villages including Point Michel, Paybush, Peachland, and Newtown. First runner-up was 75-year-old Miss Maslin Massicot of Paybush, while second runner-up was Miss Huguette St. Hilaire. The contestants came together to put on a spectacular show according to public reviews. The Miss Wobduet pageant aims to promote the Dominican Creole wear as well as the culture, speech, and traditions of the Dominican people. In more news, on Saturday, October 19th, the Miss Timatador pageant organized by the Performing Arts Workshop was held at the Goodwill Primary Auditorium. 6 young ladies participated in the competition that awarded prizes for Creole speech, or Powell Creole, Performing Arts, and National Wear. The winner, Treasure Anthony from the Massac Primary School, went home with the award for Best Performing Arts, with a performance depicting the struggles of our ancestors through dance.
I was caught and I was brought here from Africa. Well, it was used like fire from the white master every day. I down on the knees, weeks and weeks before we crossed the seas to reach in the West Indies. You make me work, I said I would. Good Lord, no pain. I toil, I say I toil so hard each day. I'm dying.
She also copped the award for Best in Wobduet. Meanwhile, Celine Luke, representing the St. Luke's Primary School, received the award for Best in Powell Creole.
Juge, Zafa, supporters, toutes maîtres et maîtresses l'école, bonjour et bienvenue. Non, moi c'est Tatiana Massicot. Moi belle, moi intelligent, moi nitara.
Second place winner was Miss Oshani Charles from the Duba Primary School, while third place was awarded to Tatiana Massicot, representing the Cassibus Primary School. Other participants included Catilia Victor of the Trafalgar Primary School and Adisa James representing the Will Strathmore Stevens School.
Tonight, Ali, tonight you score. Receive this, and that is money at the NCCU for you.
Halibut, Cletus Joseph Abraham, $15,000. What X, my brother? Enough respect to you.
Mr. Cletus Joseph Abraham, also known as Halibut, emerged victorious following the staging of the 2013 National Cooperative Credit Union (NCCU) Calypso competition on Saturday, October 19th at the Newtown Savannah. Mr. Abraham, who resides in the community of Maho, sang the Long Tongue with an impressive performance to capture the title amidst 19 competitors, winning $15,000 cash.
You see the tongue that's in your mouth, the tongue you wash in all of that. You put in your line pepper and then wash it. The tongue bring go and cherry come. Let them run their mouth and wash their tongue. The tongue is a deadly weapon. Love you. Let them run their mouth and wash their tongue. Woman telling man the tongue too long. Let them run their mouth and wash their tongue. People should give the tongue a vacation. Let them run their mouth and wash their tongue. Let's go now.
The crowd was certainly entertained by Mr. Abraham's truly energetic performance.
I am an originator of cadence. Way back in the 70s, with the Bells Combo, Halibut produced many hits. I don't have to mention too many now, because actually at this time I just sent my town on vacation. However, these were the days in the 70s when Canas was king, and hereby it's like a renaissance with the NCCU. So it's like, let it happen again.
Did you write the song, and how did the idea for the song come about?
I always do my own songs. I write, I do a little guitar with them, or if I do have a piano. So I produce my own stuff, material, lyrically, musically. I just get to the studio and lay it down with the engineer. And the idea, certainly, is stuff like natural vibes that surround me. I don't have to go far, like in the last Canas, which I produced Powerball, the old parables of Dominica, Creole stuff. It's right around me. It's just like this time I've got the tongue, the long tongue rather, and it's typical of, I guess, all of us.
According to Mr. Abraham, Canas music is the first electronic music in Dominica which truly had the potential to survive the test of time. He said, although there are many other types of music, Canas is the main music alive in Dominica. Second place was Shirley Charles, also known as Lady S of Mont Prosper, singing Let Me Love You, and won $5,000.
I believe that Canas music is one of our original music here in Dominica, and I think a lot of our younger people should take it up. Joyce Stout wrote the song, and she called me up to ask me to sing the song since she would not be in Dominica at the time of the competition.
What do you hope to accomplish by participating in this event?
Well, really and truly, it's just to get more immersed in the culture, as I love our culture, Dominica.
Last year's winner, Mr. Webster Murray, also known as D-Web, placed third and secured a prize of $2,500.
The town is a deadly weapon. Let me run their mouth and wash their tongue. Woman telling man the tongue too long.
And in court news, Okasi Moses and his girlfriend, Gemma Joseph, both of Woodfordale, earned $30,000 bail each after they pleaded not guilty to 2 drug-related offenses. The couple appeared before Magistrate Ozzie Lewis on Monday, October 21, 2013, charged with possession of 15,890 grams of cannabis and possession with intent to supply the said drugs, which had an estimated value of $35,000. The couple was arrested on October 18, 2013 at Woodfordale. As part of their bail conditions, Ms. Joseph is to report to the Portsmouth Police Station every Monday, while Mr. Moses is to report to the Wesley Police Station on that same day. The matter is scheduled for hearing on 9th May 2014. The couple was represented by attorney Ronald Charles. Meanwhile, 31-year-old Lester Edmond of Taru has been fined $1,100 for possession of 281 grams of cannabis with intent to supply. On October 19, 2013, police responded to a report of domestic violence at the home of the defendant when the investigating officer noticed cannabis spread out on the floor in the defendant's living room. Failure to pay the fine by 31st December 2013 will result in 1 month imprisonment. Edmond was also facing a charge of possession of cannabis for which there was no separate penalty. Magistrate Ozzy Lewis also presided over that matter. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, sports.